Hey guys, it's Kara here with Kinsley's Creative Palette, and last week, if you joined me, we assembled our watering can template. If you can see that, it's pretty big. Today, I'm going to talk all things jigsaws, and I'm going to show you how to cut out and sand your wood. But first, I want to talk a few things. I want to talk about jigsaws first. I use a cordless jigsaw, but I only recommend that you use a cordless if you are going to only be cutting a few at a time. The battery goes dead really quickly, so you either need to have multiple batteries or you want to go to a corded jigsaw. In my Amazon affiliate store, I show you my favorite corded jigsaw. Any jigsaw will work, but I really love, I can't remember the name of it, the brand right now. But if I'm cutting a lot, I switch to that instead of this. So this is what I'm using right now. It's my favorite for a hobbyist. It's my favorite if you're only gonna cut every now and then, or if you're just gonna cut a few pieces at a time. So the other tool that I will be using is the sander. Also, same brand. These are both Ryobis, and it uses the same battery, so they're all interchangeable. The only other tool that you'll need is you'll either need a staple gun to put twine on the back, or you're gonna need a drill to drill holes so that you can put wire. So I will do that off camera because we're just drilling holes, but these are what I'm gonna show you right now. So we're gonna take this template that we cut out last week, or taped together. I'm gonna use graphite paper, and let me run grab scissors, guys. Give me just a second. Just kidding. My scissors are not where they're supposed to be. Okay, so let's just do it without. So I am going to line my template up with the top of my board. And should we talk boards real quick? Let's talk about boards before I do that. This right here, I'm going to show it to you up close, is tri-ply. And this is an actual, like a plywood product, so it's multiple layers. And I buy this at Home Depot. There is a similar product at Lowe's called Revolution Ply, but it's not my favorite. So that's what I'm using. You can also use a product called MDF, and that product is, it's easier to cut, but you need to wear them because it gives you more, how do I say this? It doesn't splinter as bad, but you have to wear a mask when you use it because MDF is full of chemicals, okay? So you should always wear a mask anyway, and I wear protection, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay. So I'm just gonna line this up. Let me move this out of the way. I'm gonna line it up so that I can trace my pattern onto my board. I just wanna make sure that the whole thing is gonna fit. Now, one thing about the tri-ply versus the MDF is if you purchase it at Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever you purchase, if it's the true wood product, they will actually cut it into smaller pieces for you so that it's easier to transport. So for me, and guys, I'm gonna go ahead and trace my whole pattern onto here since I've already got it laid on here. So this is something you can do now, or you can just do the outline. But I'm gonna go ahead and trace it, and that's one less step I'll need to do later. And this will give me my paint lines. I gotta see how far my graphite paper goes. That's as far as it's gonna go. Okay, so I'm gonna set my hand down, and I'm gonna move my graphite paper down further. So just keep your finger there so your pattern doesn't move. And then I'm gonna just wiggle it down. And it's okay if it gets a little bit off. You can kind of correct that when you're cutting. Now, if you took my advice last week and you used cardstock to print your pattern on instead of copy paper, you don't even have to use graphite paper because you're going to have that lip to trace. So that is a huge perk if you chose cardstock. Another thing that I see people do, especially if they're going to use these templates a lot, is trace them onto poster board. All right, guys, remember if you're asking questions, I will answer later. Sorry, I'm just trying to trace my, or move my graphite paper and my nails can't grab it. Okay. There we go. I want to talk too, while we're doing this, about storing your templates, because these can get a little bit cumbersome to store. So my favorite way to store them is either fold them up and put them in some type of folder, or hang them from one of those cheap hangers that you get when you buy like shorts and pants at Walmart that have the clips, hanging them from that so that you can hang several, like you can hang all the same seasons together for easy storage. And then you don't have to worry about them getting wrinkled, and if you did them with the cardstock or the poster board, they would stay flat. Now guys, my lines may be a little bit off, and that's okay. We can always correct it with paint and our jigsaw. All right, this will be the last move. Uh-oh, I went off my board a little bit, so let's see if I can correct that. I'm just going to have to pencil in the correction. So guys, if you make a mistake, that's okay. We can always fix it. All right, so I've got my pattern drawn. I'm going to set that off to the side. And you can see it's not perfect, but it's on there, so I know now where to cut. All right, so I've got my table pushed up against this wooden frame just so it doesn't move, but I'm gonna be moving my wood as I go around. So I'm gonna grab my jigsaw. You always want to start your jigsaw a little bit away from your wood. So for me, I'm going to start it and then okay, I'm stopping it right there for just a second, and we're going to talk about blades. Let me leave it right there so I can show you. I don't know if you saw, but when I went to turn that blade, I was just able to just kind of turn it. I didn't have to stop and turn. And anyway, so the blade matters. And this is the type of blade. I use a scrolling blade, and I buy these in bulk on Amazon. They're also in my Amazon affiliate store. but they're called clean wood blades. You see that? So you see how skinny they are? They pivot really easily. So I'm gonna go around the rest of that and show you. Now, so I can cut going this way. I'll stick my blade back down in there. That I've cut, and you saw I just went ahead and cut off that excess so that I'm not working around it. So now I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna cut up here. Running almost into my table, so I'm going to have to turn again. And this time I'm going to cut going this way. We're getting close. Can y'all see this? We're getting close. So for a lot of you, this is where you're going to want to stop. You can paint this to be a neutral color so that it doesn't show up whenever you paint your watering can. But if you want to go ahead and cut this out, what you're going to do is you're going to use a drill with a decent sized drill bit, and you're going to drill a hole big enough so that your blade can go into that hole and then cut out that area. So I'm not going to do that on camera today just because I did not bring my my drill, but I am just going to hit these edges. Now I have my lines for painting, and I have my board cut and sanded and ready to go. So next week I will meet you back, and we are going to do all of the background painting. So we're going to paint our flowers and our leaves and our watering can, so that the next week we can come back and make it pretty with all the fun embellishments. All right, guys, I'll see y'all later. I hope that you enjoyed this. Make sure that you sprinkle it with your friends.